that yet.
With the 2 stripes. And I couldn't afford them. Back in the day, they costed like $14 or $15.
Yeah.
So how you doing? You doing good?
I'm living. I'm alive. I'm doing good.
You ready to chop it up?
Yes.
What's up, y'all? What's up, hey? Oh, shoot. Food jumped out my mouth where my tooth is missing.
We're keeping that in there.
Sorry, y'all. Hey, guys. Hey, I think this is episode 28 of the Perfectly Incomplete podcast. I'm Imogene. I'm the host and the one and only co-host.
Trama.
Trama's in the building. What's up?
What?
So I'm glad y'all joining us. But I practiced this, so I got to say this. Okay? So I was practicing. Y'all tell me what y'all think. So this is how I was going to do my intro. I'm Imogene, and I'm your host. Perfecting my incompleteness from coast to coast. I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, right? I wanted to do that because a lot of people say that when they go to church. And I'll be like, Negro, please, I saw you in bingo last week. I saw you in the club. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You was just getting it in. You was twerking and everything. And then you get in church and say that. So that's for all the Christians in the building. How y'all doing? Hallelujah. Have to give it to you. And I say that. I talk a lot about church people because they burnt me. They done burned a lot of other people. So I'm going to minister to them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Amen.
I'm glad to be here. Good to see you. I'm glad y'all made it. Got to introduce some nice people here. Okay, I've got the dream team, but I want to introduce a person. He works behind the scenes with the video production team, audio engineer, and he's a really cool guy. He's an R&B
He all right.
singer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he all right.
No,
He all right.
tell them how awesome I am. Go ahead.
All right. He said to tell you how awesome he is, but he's an R&B singer. He's a hip hop rapster. He's a videographer. He produces, engineers. He does all of that stuff. And guess what, y'all?
You done got it started.
He my son, but don't tell nobody. But so his name is Alexander. What's your name?
Just call me Alex.
Alex, and he'll be chiming in. He wanted to give a men's perspective. So please welcome Alex in the building. What's up, Allie?
What's up, guys? Gals.
Alex,
Team.
what's up?
All right, so, and I have 2 more very special people. We got our production team is pretty tight. I think our newest, the baby of the bunch. We've got, she is our...
Camera person.
No, let her say it.
You're on the podcast.
I know, but how do you say filmographer?
You can just call her camera for the public. We know what her title is. You can call her
I know what her title is. But anyway, we have...
Use a word that people can understand.
Okay, we have... look, we got some more people that just be making all of this stuff happen.
Yeah.
You know, they do the cameras, they do the audio. But the baby of the bunch, we've got Mary in the building. Say, what's up, Mary?
Hello.
Hi, Mary.
And then we've got our little, he ain't little, he's our little baby boy. He's really a man, but we've got another person that helps us
With everything. Literally.
And his name is Ty. What's up, Ty?
What's up,
All right,
Ty?
welcome. So I think we got the dream team. And,
Yes, we do.
Really excited
Shouts
about
out
that.
Courtney, by the way.
Shouts out to Courtney, you
Yup.
traitor. But anyway.
What do you do now?
No, I'm just messing with you. But I forgot. Let's address the obvious because y'all see the 2 of us. And when you seen us last time, there was 3 of us. And no, I'm not Houdini and I'm not doing magic tricks. I didn't make nobody disappear. But as you can see, it's 1 less person. 3 minus 1 equals 2. So just the 2 of us.
Wow.
Hey.
We can make it if we
You
try.
guys were in sync and in harmony.
I don't sing,
That's
but
hilarious.
I love that song, though.
You like that song?
I do like that
Let's
song.
stay focused. But anyway, so no, Tara is no longer with us. I'm going to pause.
Why did it get
Because
so
I don't
quiet?
want to call her name. Okay? So you can edit that out.
No, we can call her name.
Okay. So Tara is no longer with us. And I just want to wish her well in her future endeavors.
Right.
And just Godspeed.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Excuse me?
why is, without going into too much detail, why is she not with us anymore?
I think there was a misalignment of intention
Okay.
and our vision wasn't aligned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
And no, it's all love. Can I pod now? Can I
We
pod?
waiting. What
I can
you
go- I
gotta
can-
say?
Yeah,
Don't
no.
try to sabotage
No, I'm
this
not
episode.
gonna sabotage anything.
Keep the energy there, honey.
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm not going to sabotage anything. We build our foundation that we stand on is love, right?
Yes.
The foundation that we stand on is transparency. Yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I want to start there. I want to start
Okay.
with love. I'm told that whenever you critique, whenever you address an issue, you always start with love. You always start with positivity.
Right.
Absolutely.
I
That
agree.
being said, Tara, I love you. I have love for you. The way I view you, you're a Black queen. I'd never publicly cross you. I'd never publicly say anything to tear down your character.
Right.
I never really address people or attack people, as my mom taught me. You address and attack behavior. While I'm your brother and I can express my love to you, I can also express as a brother when I feel you're moving in a way that isn't beneficial to either you or me.
Right.
Tara, or our culture. That Facebook post, that was corny. That was corny. Corny for many reasons. And again, this isn't me attacking people. So I'm going to look in the camera. Hey, listen, I don't want people watching a podcast to think that this is a Tara beef with Alex and Tara. I love her. Tara's, you know, like I said, I've expressed all I've expressed about Tara. This isn't a beef. However, I do need to address certain things. Tara left because there was an issue. Tara left because we just weren't on the same page. And that's fine. It happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
It happens. It's okay. Life goes on, right? I don't think that that's necessarily the issue. I think in any professional workplace or in any relationship, it's not about the issue, but it's about how you handle that, how you move forward from it, and how you grow from it, right? And so
Absolutely.
I want to address the Facebook post. I don't want to give it too much glory, but I personally don't believe in taking personal issues, especially issues that I may have contributed to, and making it a public thing. I personally don't believe in doing that with someone that I care about. And I just don't care to do it, period. I mean, because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what's the reason? What's the goal? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I getting out of this? And especially today, you know, with everything that's going on. I mean, keeping it a buck, Black people, we have it hard enough.
Absolutely.
Now's not the
Right.
time for us to be trying to tear each other down and try to come at each other. So I want to address just a little bit of the post. You go on Facebook and you say, I'm no longer a part of that podcast. That's fine. That's cool. But then I go in the comment section and I see you encouraging people to unfollow the platform.
Go
Right.
for
to
it. Go for it.
unsubscribe.
We're good.
And
We're good.
I just got to be honest with you, Tara. Like I said, I can love you and I can tell you the truth. I think that's counterproductive. I think that's counterproductive because you being a part of the platform and acknowledging that this platform is built on something that you value and that you stand for you
Right.
to go against that, that's counterproductive. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, am I making sense? Am I
You're
off?
right.
That's your express. That's your voice, and whatever you're saying, your perspective is yours,
Right.
and I respect it.
I think that's counterproductive, and I'm not gonna lie to you. And without me attacking, because I want people, anyone who's watching, because it's bigger than a Tara thing. It's not, like I said, it's not a Tara perfectly incomplete podcast. It's not that. It's anybody can take away from this. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself. Kevin Hart said it best. He said, "What do we want? What are we aiming for?"
Right.
Right? If we're aiming for Black people to have a good life and to be uplifted and X, Y, and Z, I can't then turn around and do something that goes completely against that.
Exactly.
If I say that I'm a part of a platform because I believe that this platform uplifts women, uplifts people, encourages, mentors, heals, that's what we're striving for. If that's what I say that I'm for, even if I have an issue with someone over here, I'm not going to attack the platform that I say stands on all of these good morals. Now, I would have felt better if she would have just attacked the person straight up who she had an issue with, but the platform didn't do anything. So I've ran it on longer than I expected to. I want to say
That's
again.
right. Wrap that
Yeah,
mess
we'll
up.
wrap it up. Tara, I love you. And even after saying everything that I just got finished saying, I have no problem with you. I have no issue with you. We live in the same city. Like I said, we're both black. And for me, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough of a reason for me to not try to tear you down. And yeah, it is what it is, man. I think moving forward, I pray to God that everyone involved in whatever took place continue to grow. And like I said, it's cool to focus on what happens. It's cool to focus on parts that other people play, but at some point it is good to address yourself, because at the end of the day, man, that's how you grow.
Right.
Okay. You finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. And I respect you for saying that. And it is what it is. And like relationships, I mean, I'm okay. Like, we all wish her the best and anybody else. Sometimes people are in your life just for a reason or a season, and they move on. It doesn't mean you have to break apart and hate each other or badmouth each other.
Yeah, like I still love her. I still care for her.
Yeah.
I want her to grow into the successful person that she's going to be. But I mean, it is what it is. I only wish the best for her.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No negativity.
No. But, I will say, like relationships, and they take time.
Yeah,
building
they do.
good relationships. But none of us are perfect. But, a person can present themselves to be a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
And I might tell you, well, I'm like this. I know myself, though. I'm old enough to know myself. But it's a process. And there were times when I didn't know myself as well. And I thought I was like this. And then my behavior exhibited a certain, action that was not in alignment with what I said.
Right.
So I think I've learned one of the relational skills that makes relationships good is when you can be honest and you have at least be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest with it and just have the right intention. And no shade. I'm not saying, I'm just putting it out here.
It's just about good relationships and what's the best to move forward with everything. It's
and
not
being honest.
Yeah, honesty is the key. Communication is the key. Those are the two elements of a very good relationship, but it doesn't always start out that way.
Right.
You got to learn each other, and
absolutely,
you definitely have to be like, okay, do I trust this person? That has to be there too.
Right.
And that's the main thing: communication, trust, and honesty.
And you have to be honest, right? Yeah. So I mean, I learned from you. I learned just from relationships but like I'm big on when I say keeping it real, because at least if I'm honest and I'm consistent, because my mind can tell you anything, but after a while, and I'm listening to you, but it's just like they say with our kids. Our kids watch more so what we do
and not
than what we say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So, but
Tara, you felt, or Trama, you felt that on a personal level?
Yeah, because my daughters be bringing it back, and my son sometimes he'll be like, well, this is not what you taught us. I'm only doing what you said. And I'm like, I'm going to smack you.
Don't say that. Don't think you're abusive, right?
I'm going to visualize smacking him because...
And the crazy thing is you can't even get mad. That's the funny part.
I can't get mad. I just walk away because I'm like, you know what? I did teach him that, so I got to walk away and just be mad at myself. But it's like a good thing though, because it's a good thing because he'll be like a good human being later down the road when I'm not around. But at that moment, I'm like, ooh, boy,
Kids got a way of throwing it back in your face.
Yeah, he did it like 2 days ago too, and I was like, ooh, you lucky I gotta go to work.
Shout out to Josiah, he getting mad airtime right now.
Yeah. But anyway, relationships are work and
everything.
Yeah, if you're willing to work through it, cool. If you're not, keep it moving, get to stepping. Like Cardi B did with Offset. I had to go there.
I'm gonna cry. Because that's my girl.
I love Cardi B.
I love her.
I think she's so cute.
I think she's a genius, a hip hop genius. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think she's just not, I wouldn't say a role model, but I look up to her because of where she came from. Mm-hmm. So then she made it through all that love and hip hop stuff, the strip club, everything. And now she's got like a huge house in Atlanta, Georgia.
She's got material possessions.
She has material possessions, but it's cool to see someone from that perspective, my age, around my age, just move successfully up there like that.
I agree.
Within like a year or two, like she was popping.
She's been doing her thing, and I agree with you. It's not where you started. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's starting different spots, and like they was coming at her saying you should be a better role model. This was a while back, and she was like, well, she can't help it. This is how she started out. Yeah. She's doing things, but she's been consistently improving. And I like Cardi. I think she's beautiful. Even though she be like, we used to say that in the 80s. We used to say that in the 80s when I was in school.
But she made it hot. I ain't gonna lie. It's so funny because it's mad ratchet, but it's mad cute at the same time.
She's cute.
She's just cute. She's all around like somebody like I could kick it with probably in real life.
Yeah.
And chill and hang out with.
And I give her props. Like even with the thing with her and her husband and she just said people grow apart. And I think she knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. So she has her boundaries in place. And I love that. When people can pull apart, you don't have to be mad at each other. Yeah. They're not calling each other. And you know, I don't know about other races, but in our race, I'm not going to stereotype, but black people, we got it bad.
We do have it bad.
Because when we break up with people, we trying to get a brick and bust their window and flatten their tire. I'm going to call social services on you. Tell me you're working under the table.
That's crazy.
They be doing they do.
But she's growing,
the
man.
Worst.
She's growing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've heard some stories about bad breakups.
Tell me a story. Give me one good story, Trevor.
You heard some stories?
No, I heard some stories.
I heard some stories.
I've never been in any of them.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I know because I done bust a window or two my own self, but not because we broke up.
Oh, wow.
Because,
it was over a different reason?
No, I don't care. This was about 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
This is with your dad. No, because he tried to get new. He tried to get new on me, right?
Oh.
He tried to get new on me with the other, well, whatever. And not knowing I had the keys to his vehicle, I'm like, he just like a deer, and he done been ran over and resurrected and about to get run over again. And he was there popping his junk, and I'm like, okay. And I had the key. I took them and threw them down in the ocean. I was in Florida. I took the keys, threw them in the river, and I had the keys to the van. So. And then he was popping in front of his friends. I went on home to my house. My phone went, you got my keys. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know?
Yo, you know what's funny? As you're telling that story, I can see you reliving it. Like,
I get it.
Mom spaced out real quick.
It wasn't because we broke up. You know, it was just
sometimes it gets like that.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that. Yeah, I just cried in my room. But I wish I had like the courage to do something like that though.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Just because.
Nowadays, you don't want to do that.
You
can't do that.
Sometimes it's good to just walk away, man. It's good to walk away.
It's hard, though, being the bigger person.
It's
very hard being the bigger person because sometimes you just want to bust the window and...
Oh, you mean assaulting...
not busting the car window.
No, I think, like, let me just defend myself. Like, I'm not going to say... I'm always the bigger person. I'm always.
I wasn't talking about you.
No, well, I'm just saying. In that case, that's what hurts you so bad when you are the bigger person and you're the one. Like I could have really been the one really going in and going off, and it hurts when I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna try to roll with it, and then the person who's really out there, then they try to come at you like. That's like eating humble pie through my nose everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like you should have did it anyway.
Yeah.
That's a wild concept. Like going from saying that you're so in love with somebody to like becoming worst enemies and doing things to try to like harm the other person, yo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it happened. So shout out to Cardi B. I'm like really proud of you and you doing your thing. And hey, you know what you want. You know what you don't want. You want to move on with your life. And I think it's a beautiful thing. She's doing it gracefully, the way she do it.
Well, shout out to Offset because he could have been like a complete...
Yeah.
You know, nigga, about it.
Hey,
like,
she said, I don't know, you said that word. Oh, you might get in trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble. But that, I mean, he could have been a real...
Yeah, he could have been.
Asshole about it.
At least he didn't allegedly shoot her when she tried to walk away.
Yo, I don't even know why you trying to go there. Yo, leave Tory alone.
That's my boy, though.
She didn't shoot her.
I said allegedly.
Allegedly, he didn't shoot her.
Y'all know he dropped his album last week, right?
Yes.
And
I think everybody should listen to it, especially if you ever been through a breakup.
Yeah.
You can feel some of them feelings that he got.
He's telling the truth about some stuff.
I'm
sorry, you can feel it.
Listen.
Do you think he did it?
I believe he didn't do it because the way he sounds in the songs and some of the songs that he was like singing to her, like that came from the heart. Like he
You
was
could feel
really
it.
heartbroken
What's
about
my
the whole
record?
situation.
Ty, what's my record? What's the one that I like? The Solar Drive at I forget the one. Yeah, Solar Drive at night. He was crying his heart out. I said,
Yeah,
dang,
you
Tony.
How you
don't
get
could
to
just
that one?
cry your heart out.
But you know what's
Listen.
wild? It's wild because he said, all right, this is my only beef of what he said in some of the records. He said, you and your people are trying to frame me, right? But then he turned around and said, I still have love for you and I want to work things out.
Yeah.
Fam.
Yeah.
If he still loves you and wants to work thing out and made a whole album about
But
you,
after
he
you-
still love you though.
But after you just tried to like end my life by saying that I shot you in the foot and sending me to prison for, I ain't even gonna lie, Trama, if somebody
Love is a very like, if
I
you
get it.
really love somebody and they was kicking it where nobody really knew about it. So it's like, he really loved her. Like I can't express it no harder.
Well, love
No,
make you
he
do some
really,
crazy
it makes
things.
you do some crazy stuff where you dedicate a whole album to the chick. Like, come
he
on.
was on some Chris Brown vibes, man. Make a
Well,
whole
I'ma
album.
just
I don't
jump
know
in-
if Chris
I'ma
Brown
jump
ever
in here 'cause they
dedicated
just trying not to
a
let
song
me
to Chris
cough.
Brown.
And you know how Monica said, kick down your door and slap your chick? You know?
That's why.
But,
What do you think? So you don't think that you don't think he did it, Mom?
You know, I don't know, but like I'm on a glory cloud with this because what he says makes sense. If you walking away from me, how you know I shot you? You can't see me. But I'm looking at the big thing when I'm listening. I'm only listening to about 5 of his songs, the first 5,
Oh, I went
Yeah.
through
and
all
they're
of
fire.
them.
I didn't get to listen to all of them,
Right.
but you know, you could just feel they was kicking it,
You can feel
and
it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to cry with him. Like
he was simping. But then I look at the big picture, and I'm a conspiracy theorist all day long.
Let's talk about
So my thing is, okay, Tory, he's an independent artist now, right? He owns
Yeah.
his masters, right?
yeah, because he said that in the
Absolutely.
song.
So he's up here now. Meg, she just went through some stuff with a label like some months ago where they was trying to 360 her. She was like, kick down your door and smack your chick. Because she wasn't having it, right?
Right.
She prevailed. She won that. So here you got 2 people at the top of their game. I believe it's some influencers behind the scene. I don't know if they're manipulating this for stream sales, publicity. I don't know. But in the climate that we're in right now with all this social justice issues, it's like, how come every time in Black culture, when we get some leaders, whatever industry, they're at the top of their game, and then something is always going down to take them down. I could say Bill Cosby. I could call up some people's names, you know, and that's where I am. They're big enough where they can join forces. They have the resources. They can really contribute to this agenda that we're trying to push for social change.
Exactly.
But and he mentioned Illuminati and all this, and you know, I don't know, but that, and it's like they're being, from what he says, using Meg to bring him down. Like, it's what you just said about, you know, you're Black people. We have it bad enough. Right. So why
Let's
are you
still
gonna
come together?
Yeah, why are you gonna like attack? It's a lot.
I think the only attack was because Tory's publicist started it. So it started the wave of why Meg felt like she needed to say something, and then it just basically snowballed after that. Because they want to make sure that he got his image right.
Right.
Not caring about, and I think that's what I got from his album. Like, he still cared about her enough that, you know, he didn't say anything. We didn't hear from him from like months. I follow him on social media. I didn't hear nothing, not a single, not nothing. And then boom, he got a whole album.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
That's weird.
What do you think about his approach though? Because I'm kind of on the fence about that. Like, Rick Ross came out and he spoke on it. He was like, "Yo, I think the way you went about it was kind of foul, like in the wake of the Breonna Taylor situation and to drop." A lot of people feel like Tory is kind of capitalizing off of the situation and using it for financial gain. A real situation. What do you think about that? I'll say my piece after y'all.
I think it's like, I don't know, I'm not in it. It's needless to say, it's complex, but like I'll still say, I believe there's some influencers in the back orchestrating it because it's about that money. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people in hip hop culture or music, and they're signed to a label. You know who own the labels.
Right.
Negroes over in Dubai and places like that. They know Negroes, you know?
That we don't know we don't know how to pronounce their first name.
Absolutely, right? So I think he is being opportunistic. I think that's foul because she came out live. Why didn't you come out? First I was saying, well, maybe his lawyer told him not to say nothing. But dog, you don't say nothing. And then you drop a whole album?
Yeah, like you got to say something.
I think that's foul.
Like, it's messed up. It's messed up.
He said something on one of his songs. Like, he was like, well, like, people was talking about, yo, you ain't say nothing. You ain't say nothing.
Oh, you didn't call me on the phone. You got my number.
But he's like, how am I supposed to speak on a situation while there's an open investigation and an open case going on?
But
like, what
is it closed now?
So no, it's not.
It's not closed.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can drop 20 songs or however many songs on the album.
But he wasn't really direct on the...
We know who he was talking.
We all know who he was talking about.
The first song, he played her live. He played her live on Instagram.
He played her live, other people's interviews, everything. He did all of that in the first song.
We know. I'm just saying, like, in the court of law, like, a lot of things that they try to do, they try to use your exact words against you.
Oh, that's true. Because they're trying to give him 3 years for the whole incident.
Wild. That's wild.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not in it. I just, like, you know, it is what it is, and we all make bad choices. And like I said, I'm sorry that happened to her. And now he's saying he didn't do it. So, like, I really don't know. My thing for both of them is, like, get y'all stuff together, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, learn what you need to learn from it, and move. I'm not going to rag my brothers and my sisters. I'm not going to do it.
We're not going to do that.
The one thing I will say, and social media is always going to do this because the internet is the internet, but the one thing I will say that I don't think is fair is people making up their mind about Tory before he even get a chance to speak. That's
true.
the only thing I don't like.
But that's being in the limelight. That's being famous. That's being, you know, a celebrity. Like, people judge you. Like, they judge everybody. Be no celebrity.
Like, it's usually the one who comes out with the story first. It's like the one you get in trouble in school, right? You get home and you tell your mama before the teacher do.
Right.
So you figure it's usually the one who presents the narrative first, right?
That's the thing that people believe. So I don't know whether he did it or not. Prayers to both of them.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. I wish both of y'all much success, but don't be letting the man or the woman use y'all to bring each other down. Yeah. You know, and I really want to say that, going back to what you said in the beginning. And yeah, you hear me talk a lot about Black culture, my people. I love everybody. I do. You know?
Do too.
But you know, naturally, I'm a little biased toward my ethnicity or women or whatever that share my identity. We need to learn how to think critically and stop allowing ourselves to be used as pawns to take our own brother down. You know, and I'm not saying that's the case with Meg and Tory, but it's something behind something, and just the timing with everything. And the dude is just doing well, and he mentioned Illuminati. I don't know if that it's it, and I don't know, but it would seem like you got these. Well, he's there, and she's rising. You got these rising stars that could really make a difference just in this fight for justice.
It's like the same thing with Joe Budden. What happened when he was, as soon as he speaks out against Spotify, and says that, you know, announces his departure and talks about the deal and everything. A week later, there's this smear campaign going on against him. Old baby mamas and old girlfriends just coming out.
He's abusive and he was beating them, and
he has sex with dogs, and it's like,
that's foul.
That's crazy.
You know, it's wild, man. It happens we see this over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see this in, you know, you'll have Black men in a position of power or who are rising. It's different, but it's no different from the Nipsey situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
YG was talking about that.
Like, you know, it's because, and it's all about the purpose, like, because you have a lot of Black men who are rich, but who are lost, like, as far as like what their intentions are.
Right.
But it's usually the Black men who are trying to give back to Black community, who's trying to like push us in a progressive, you know, way. And it's usually those people who
that get cut short.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's all I want to see us like think. And stop just taking what other people tell you to be true. You know, you spend all this time, and I say you, whoever it fits, because, you know, me too. When I speak to you, I speak to me, right?
Right.
But instead of just letting somebody dictate your narrative, you have the internet, right?
Right.
Collect some information, get saturated to the point where what you're reading is just repeating itself, and then you may be close to the truth. But stop allowing other people to just manipulate your thought process, and do some critical thinking. Separate what's true. Line it up with your values, you know, and if it's something you didn't believe in and you get information, evaluate it, internalize it, apply it to the self. And that's really how we grow. Oh, who calling me?
Hey.
It's the government. I don't owe y'all nothing. Let me turn off my phone. They probably listening, because y'all know how I feel about the government. I don't trust them.
That's the FBI, like, yo, chill.
Well, I ain't got nothing. But no, I say, you know, Tory, Meg, all of y'all, just get y'all stuff together and just start using your brain, you know? We're not dummies. We are not dumb people. Let's stop acting like it, you know?
We have to get to the point where it's like, us as people, we have to, first of all, somebody calling me too, Mom. I feel like the same person who's calling me.
Is it the U.S. government?
I think it's Courtney.
Wow.
I was gonna plug him up and put him on the podcast, but
what does he want? He may want. Ask him? Is it an emergency?
Just in case.
I'm gonna tell Courtney he's on the pod real quick.
You being rude, but
Courtney, what up?
I mean, it is what it is.
You're on the podcast.
Is what it is.
What's up?
You know, I wish the best for him. But
I hope they stay successful, both of them.
I'm on the phone.
I don't care. We're doing anyway.
What did you say?
He about to cut you out. We about to cut him out.
I was calling to remind Mom of her reservation tomorrow, and she needs to remember to bring that form with her when she goes to that place.
He couldn't have left a voicemail.
Tell him, Train, because he knows
he couldn't have left a voicemail.
You said you couldn't have left the voicemail?
Send a text message.
You see how black folks do, y'all? You see how we do?
I want you to know we're leaving you on the podcast.
To each other.
You see how
it's
people
like ridiculous.
Do? And he know we recording, right?
Everybody.
No, say what up to the people on the pod, yo.
Goodbye.
Hello, how are you?
Courtney's annoying. All right, man. I'll call you afterwards.
Goodbye.
All right, bye. Shouts out to Courtney Simmons, y'all. Go check out his music.
Courtney's in the building.
She said he was a traitor anyway. So.
Yeah, I do feel that way. But you know what? Before I know, and I know, I just wanted to go back to something because we have been here. We've recorded a couple episodes that we didn't drop, and I feel like we left so much. And I know, like, this is past, but I did want to just send prayers of comfort and pay respects to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And I know, like, we haven't recorded in a while, but like, I felt that just from watching his movies, listening to his speeches, a very great gift, a divine gift for his short time on life. In this life, he contributed a lot, and just wanted to honor him.
Right.
Yeah.
R.I.P. our king.
Yeah. Yep. Rest in peace, sleeping king.
Forever.
Boseman. Yeah.
He's a superhero down.
Yeah. So back to Tory and Meg.
No, we're done with them. We're done with them because they ain't thinking about us.
I wonder though if she's gonna come back with like a
They're gonna be all
first of all, Trey,
I'm just saying she might come back with like a album / diss record.
Who wins?
I don't know. It would be a tie though, even though
you think Tory.
You
think Tory rap better than Meg?
Oh,
okay.
Hell yeah!
But
Come on.
Are you serious? He can sing and rap.
He can sing and rap.
She can't sing and rap.
She uses auto-tune.
But I was gonna say I feel Tory loses that battle because then it's like, man, you're beefing with a girl. Like, come on, man.
It's not really beef. It's love beef because he love her. And she kind of loves him.
She's stuck on this love thing over here.
Yeah, right. She in her feelings, but she in her bag, right? Trey was like, Mom. Trey was like, but when you're in love.
Sometimes it be like that. You haven't really been in love. Sometimes you be like that. You forget about life when you're in love sometimes.
And see, that's why I don't think him being an opportunity. I mean, he's Tory Lanez. The Negro is rolling, swimming in money. You know what I'm saying?
He really is.
And I mean, he's got his followers.
Allegedly.
They ain't going nowhere. Even if they don't like him, his music is dope. You know what I'm saying? So what does he have to gain? He wants the girl and the kitty cat, right?
He probably had the kitty cat already. He just wanted to be with her.
All right, so we've reached the end of this episode. Jesus, man.
Stop. So moving on to something a little bit more serious. Y'all see I got my shirt that says Black Votes Matter.
Do votes matter?
Yes, they
do.
There are people out here that believe that votes don't matter.
And I can
What do you say to those people?
I would say they do matter, and I can understand why people say that because of the process. You know, it's like, for instance, the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton won that election by the popular vote, but yet the Electoral College, the designated representatives of the people in the state, they cast a vote. And I believe the Constitution authorizes the states to have the discretion to say, okay, your Electoral College must vote for the party of their nominee, or they can cross over. That's a state-by-state thing. So with that being said, that in itself is foul because if New York State, I don't know what ours is, but if just say the Democrats, who is it, Biden and what's their name? Kamala. Yeah,
you don't forgot her name?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
We did a whole episode on her, Mom. Jeez.
We did an episode, but we didn't upload it because we had all of this drama going on around here.
I just want everybody on the pod who's watching to know that this is our second time
doing this.
And technically our third time doing
Is it third or fourth?
Filming.
It's been too many times.
I lost count.
But I'm staying focused. What I'm saying is I can understand why people don't vote. In New York State, though, I believe that when we go to the polls, we're electing our electors. But I believe in New York State, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this,
right,
but they're mandated to vote for the nominee of their party. Because that's stupid if they're Democrats and they're voting for Republican. That's really dumb anyway. So I can understand why people don't trust the process and say voting doesn't matter, but it does matter.
It does matter. I feel like some people feel like that whole process of voting, if you're not educated enough, then you really don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I felt, because in 2016, I didn't vote.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, my vote doesn't matter. You know, I'm Trama. Like, ain't nobody gonna care about my vote. But I was wrong, because it does matter.
It does.
And so I'm registered in everything. I just didn't go. I just didn't go because I was like, oh.
And that's even worse.
That was worse.
You
and
took
once
the time to register and didn't vote.
Yeah, I voted. I voted for Obama when I was 18, right?
Right.
And then the whole thing with Trump and Hillary, I just felt like, oh, my vote's not going to matter. And then when I saw that New York State, Clinton had the vote, but then there's other stuff behind it that you don't understand.
Right.
So it's like, if you don't understand politics in general, you sometimes feel like your vote is not going to matter.
Right.
And that's how I felt originally. Before, that's why I didn't vote a second time around.
Well, just so you know, I vote for God.
Ew.
You vote for God. Somebody else said that.
Let me stop.
But before we, I want to address that, because I hear a lot of people say, I vote for God. That's the most stupidest thing I ever heard. I vote for God too, the concept of God as I understand it. But just give me a second. I wanted to address what Trama said about, boy, you threw me off. Help me. What did you say?
About not voting, and that because I don't have enough education about the electoral votes that are separate from like the states and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I guess what I'll say about voting, it does matter, especially on the local level. It does matter, because those people you elect for senator or the House of Representatives, you know, you step to them. If you're registered now, pick up that phone, or when they have a rally, you ask them specifically, what are you going to do for my people? You make them commit to a plan and tell you something they're going to do.
Right.
And then you herald that and you hold them accountable to it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the system, it's not broken. It was designed. Yeah. It works exactly the way it was designed to work. And unfortunately, we have to engage in that system in order to try to affect change. But voting does matter on so many levels. And yeah.
It's important. It's important. I definitely agree. I think I just backslided because I thought we was going to win.
Yo, Trey, both.
Being honest, like, I just felt like, oh, I'm just gonna lay in the bed and not vote, kind of thing. But
yo, Trey,
that's
we
how
going
I
to
felt
the
at the
polls. We
moment.
going to the polls together, kicking down doors. We're gonna be up in there.
I'm not kicking down no doors, but you know.
Because if you do, you're gonna go to jail.
I'm not trying to go to jail.
Joking,
Orange,
guys.
I mean, orange does look good on me, but
yeah, but you don't want that kind of orange.
Not baggy
but,
orange.
you know, and I want to address that. But I will say the 2016 presidential election, do you know the black vote decreased by like 7%? And that 7% of black people, had they voted, it may have been a different result.
Right.
You know, so it really does matter in the big scheme of things. And as far as this voting for God, like, I just got to go here for a minute because, and I don't disrespect.
Get off your chest, Mom. Go ahead.
You know, I don't disrespect nobody's religion and stuff like that. And do I call myself a Christian? I just say I'm a believer, okay? That's where I got to be at. I believe in the concept of God. I believe in principles and stuff like this, okay? Mm-hmm. But, you know, you have Christianity, you have all these different religions, and some people say, oh, you know, I'll just take Christians. I vote for God. Well, if you vote for God, you can actually read, I think it's Corinthians something, verse 1-7, but it talks about as God has appointed authority, that you're supposed to obey laws, you know, because when you break laws, not only are you breaking the laws of the authoritative figures, you're disrespecting God because he's appointed them. So if you adhere to that teaching and it says God appointed government, bam, you connect the dots. But for people who are like, and it also, there's a scripture that says, faith without works is dead, right? It means you may believe in the concept of God, but you got to do the work. Do the work that you can do. God is not going to come down from heaven or in the stars, wherever. It's spirit. God is a spirit, right?
Yeah.
God is not going to do for us what we can do individually. So for people who out there saying, I vote for God, I'm never gonna label people. That line of thinking, is flawed.
It is flawed.
It's flawed.
And a lot of loopholes in there.
And I be hearing people, and I get upset because I'm out here. I've been out here holding signs, standing 20 below zero, going to the Capitol, lobbying. I was so intimidated by a senator one day because I gave him the business. He shut down. I was like, oh, they're gonna kill me. No, really. But you see all the movements going on.
Yeah.
And people talking about they vote. But I bet you that stimulus or that unemployment, I bet you
put that in their pocket.
Yeah, you cashing them checks. So you just riding for free? And then, you have certain groups like LGBTQIA, right?
I'm mad that you had to count.
Well, I do the same thing because I don't want to miss a letter.
And I'm doing that there, and I love everybody. But you have this community. Look at the rights that they have gained through the election process.
Yeah.
Look at immigrants. Look at dreamers. Look at the different categories of people.
Yes.
And you say you don't want to vote.
No, and you're a U.S. citizen.
You vote for God. God wouldn't have it for you to be ignorant. That's why he got me here telling you need to vote. And if you don't, you shouldn't benefit. Because if I was the government and you don't want to vote, I put you on the island. I wouldn't give you no food stamps. I wouldn't give you nothing, okay?
And that's my beef. Like, it be the people who don't vote who be having the loudest mouths.
Always complaining.
Like, I'm like, yo, shut up.
Shut up.
Like, you didn't do nothing. You didn't participate. You didn't try. Like, shut up. Why are you benefiting? I get you. Why are you benefiting from all the hard work that everybody else in the world is doing?
I pay my taxes. I pay my taxes faithfully every 2 weeks when they take my money out my check. So
you pay it because they take it, huh?
They take it. They take it. I don't really. If they would give me a choice and I could keep mine, I would not pay.
That's a fact.
I would keep all my money.
Yeah, give me my money.
Yeah. I be crying sometimes when I see my paycheck from the federal government. It'd be
you know what it is? Because you get it before taxes and be looking beautiful, and then afterwards you be like,
oh man, that after tax, I be wanting to cry sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be like
because the government.
That's crazy that you gotta.
But I'm
to get
because
off.
I'm a voter and I'm registered. I can say anything about it, but
you have an opinion.
I have an opinion, and I pay them to have my opinion.
Yeah, you're part of the system, but like I don't want to get stuck on this, but like because it just blows my mind. You don't vote. It's a civic duty. It's an honor, and I know
it is an honor, especially for black females. It's an honor because there was a time that we couldn't vote at all. So it's like I understood it at a young age, but then I got lazy, basically.
But at least you were registered. So sometimes we fall off the path, and some of us haven't found the path. So I get it.
Yeah.
And you can't make people value different things, but like in the world that we living in right now. That's really all we got.
That's a fact.
That's
really
all we got.
To address that, how can you say black people need to have a louder voice and our voices need to be heard, but I'm not going to vote though?
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Go sit down. We be like, go sit down.
Like, go in the corner.
That's basically go to Assemblyman Cahill's or someplace else and say, I have an issue. No, the first thing they're going to ask you, are you a registered voter?
Literally.
Yeah.
And on the back of the social service packets, they have the application to be a registered voter.
Yeah. But people don't want, they be like, I just want this check. I ain't starting voting right now. I need my food stamp. I don't want to vote. Just give me my check.
I miss food stamps.
Me too. I really appreciated when I was getting them for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I started working again. It's like, I said, well, let me call these people up and tell them,
what you say? Let me go ahead and tell them I'm making a little bit of money.
I called them. I checked my card 10 minutes later. The money I had, they had no ticket. Okay?
They worked fast.
The government don't play with their money at all.
Funny? Isn't that funny?
Don't.
They don't play.
It was a little bit
longer,
but it was like the next day.
But still, they'd be quick to take
your
money that they gave you already, and then when you owe them, they'd be like, "Oh, where's my money? Where's my money? I'm taking everything."
Literally.
Like
what?
Your assets.
They close bank accounts.
So y'all voting? Y'all voting?
I'm voting. Y'all voting.
I'm voting.
You voting?
I'm voting. I'm gonna do it this year.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you?
Wait, can I be? Because I'm an independent, so can I just vote for anybody else, or no?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, if that's what you're registered at.
Because I didn't know at 18, I was like, I'm an independent. Like thinking I'm an independent woman because that song came out.
But if that's your party, that's
I didn't know nothing about it. I was just like, oh, independent.
It's literally Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, you voting. So I got to do my homework on the candidates and whoever I vote. I'm only one little person, but you better believe that I'm going to be writing them a letter or email specifically saying, you're aware of what's going on. This is happening right in my city. What are you specifically going to do?
Mom going to be like, listen, this is what I need to happen, okay? In your Cardi B voice, though, you got to do it. Word.
With the nails.
I love her nails. I love her nails. I just can't do them because
they are really long.
They're so long.
But anyway, so vote everybody.
Yep.
This is September and it's fall. Doesn't our set look beautiful, guys?
It does.
Wait, is it September?
Y'all ain't gonna say nothing?
No, it does.
It's September.
Is it September or October?
School.
September.
We're not, that's what. How's school? How's school going? Because I know you were talking about your kids online. How is that going?
It's going. It's it's rough though because
she said it's going.
It's going. It's like not a well-oiled machine yet because they're still working out the kinks in the school.
Right.
And it got to the point where my daughter's English teacher had to stay home for 14 days.
Because she was exposed.
We don't know what she got, but all her classes were canceled, so she has no English.
You're like, girl, you at home.
She can teach.
She can teach from home, but I guess they're having them in the schools because they're still preparing them to go back to school.
Okay, understand.
And I don't know. I want them to go back to school because I'm tired of them. They need to go back, be with their friends instead of annoying me. But I kind of want them to stay home too at the same time because they're not small where they're sharing masks and stuff, but they're still old enough where they're still sharing stuff with each other.
Right.
So it's I don't want them to come home with that, at all. So I don't know where to send them if they do have that.
Right. No, it's complicated.
Yeah.
And I don't have small kids. So, but I think about that. I've been hearing other people with their stories, what I do like about it. And y'all know me, this is just my brain. At least when your kid is sitting in front of a computer with the teacher, you see how that dynamic is, right?
Yeah.
Because when kids are in schools, some stuff be going on. And with certain groups, I got to go there with certain groups because certain kids don't act like the teacher think they should act and they deal with them. So it is a way to just monitor that dynamic between the teacher and the parent. And also, since this big can of worms, we've been know that all this hate is out here, right?
Yeah.
And education and health. Well, inequalities, disparities. That's what I meant to say. But the basis of it is hate and attitudes that stem from it and behaviors.
Yeah.
In healthcare, in education, in criminal justice system, and all of this. So even in schools, from the school to prison pipeline, because kids of color do not behave in accordance with the dominant main white ideal of how kids are supposed to behave, then they put them in the special education system. You've heard me say this before. So I get it. I can only imagine for parents, it's tough being home with your kids, but you're getting to monitor how they're learning, how the teacher's interacting, and you're first line, like a voice to really initiate some change.
Yeah, and I also feel like now that they're home, there's more home stuff that they can learn that probably they would never learn because of the generation that they're in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff. I got my kids learning how to cook.
Good for you.
Good
for you. That is.
My son, he's 13. I don't want no female to cook for him unless it's me or one of his sisters because I don't want him to be one of those men that don't know how to cook and depend on women. Put up with any woman because she knows how to cook. Nah, bump all that. You cook yourself, boy.
Them pork chops.
That's what I'm talking about.
Frying chicken. I be having the house doing all types of stuff.
I like that.
He'd be like, Mom, you're doing too much. I'm like, no, you need to know.
Yeah.
Just like the girls need to know how to take the trash out or do an oil change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Change the tire.
Let's go, Trey.
What?
You know he would love that because I was cutting the hedges yesterday.
Beautiful.
By yourself?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
look at her.
And then I had to they cut the hedges and the bushes and shrubs about 2 months ago. I had to pick them all up and put them in the can and put them out. They let their mother do this all by herself.
I feel like that's wrong.
It is wrong.
No, I was gonna help her, but I wanted her to get practice, yo.
For what?
To learn how to do it.
She's older. She don't need to be doing all that.
He's about to be homeless in a New York minute. Okay?
At that point, I'm editing all of this out.
So you better check it before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, she shouldn't be doing that as a younger, older woman.
My little
she should
not getting old. Okay?
So back to Tory and Meg.
But I think that's really great.
Yeah.
How is it as far as, because I know you work, so
it's harder. I feel like it's harder because my schedule, like I even did like a whole chart in the house on the times and all that, but it's just still like hard because I'm like trying to keep up with them and then make sure that I'm on time for work.
yeah.
And like
That sounds like
just be there for them, and then they be trying to be slick. Like, Ma, how you spell this? Why you asking me? I know you know how to spell this. Why you asking me?
Look it up. That used to be my thing. And my kids would be like, what do you mean? I said, look it up in the dictionary.
But I think now it's just they have like these sight words things where they all know the words.
Yeah.
Like, why are you busting in my room asking me how to spell common? Like, what?
Yeah.
If you don't
but
go
I
somewhere,
guess it's
get out
hard
my
to
room.
stay engaged, though. You know, with a computer.
It is hard because I be catching my son on his phone and on his. He got the Xbox in the background playing music. I'm like, would you be in school doing that? He's like, but I'm at home. I'm like, boy, you are you really testing me right now?
But you know, I get it, but
it's different. It's a different dynamic.
It's hard. It's not easy, and I thank God for my job.
Yeah, you think,
honestly, because I get a break from them.
You know what I feel bad for? I feel bad for the mothers and the
that
fathers.
stay at home.
No, not well. Yeah, but like you know how I think parents look forward to their kids' first day of school, right? Like, you're sad,
you
but
send them
you
off
send them
and
off
don't got to
be like,
deal with them for 8 hours.
you be
I
like,
said that.
You know what I'm saying? No,
I get
but like your kids who are just your kids who are just starting school, like this their first time ever being in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just
That's
like,
the day everybody cries. I cried.
But it's like
when he went to
your kid
kindergarten.
ain't going to school because everything is online now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't even get that experience of this is my kid's first day of school.
You're missing that
ever,
milestone.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
Like, my son's missing, he's being in 8th grade, he's missing all the stuff right before high school.
Yeah, man.
So it's like all those teenage milestones he's missing. So it's like, as a parent, how do I like make up for him going to his 8th grade formal, or like he's not gonna dress up in a suit?
Yeah, no,
I get it. I mean, I get it. And like being much older, I look at it from a different perspective. Like you just said, the kids now, my generation is probably the last generation who's not totally influenced by the internet, the World Wide Web. And I think it's great. I know it's a lot on parents, but you can see where the world has gone to hell and back, and we in hell now. Again. And it's missing the values that you can, like you're teaching your son how to cook and how to clean. There's always a remnant, a few people left. And I think what you have, you need to put that inside of your kids, because I was watching The Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. And it basically, the gist of it, it's a bunch of tech guys out of Silicon Valley who were working for like Twitter and Instagram.
I looked at that, but I never have time to watch anything, so
I watched it.
I like breeze past it.
It was a hard watch, but basically of how we're manipulated on the social media platforms. But to really listen to it, it's really, really intense. And when you got 12-year-olds and 13, it's talking about how the algorithms, and then when you don't click that bait, it's like a artificial intelligence now, machine learning, where the machine has picked up on the knowledge from being programmed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, so it's really undermining. And I say all this to say, like, if some of us parents or grandmamas who's left don't put this into their grandkids or their kid to keep this thing alive, it's like...
It's going to die with like my generation.
Yeah.
It's just going to die out.
And it's a scary place
they'll be
to
the
be.
last of the Mohegans.
Yeah, but well, you
like
seem to be
sometimes,
doing good though. I mean,
I'm trying.
You're keeping
It's
it.
hard.
You're keeping it together. I feel for the stay-at-home moms, and I got to shout out Nicole, because Nicole was DMing me about 3 weeks ago, and we were just chatting. She had watched the podcast.
Yeah.
And she's it's unique because she's married to a man of color. She's a white woman and she has a black husband. We were just chatting it up. And it was like an intersectionality of issues for her being a stay-at-home mom. But like, you get to go to work, you get an outlet. And she's home, not only I don't know the ages of her kids, but if they're non-school age, she's home with the little ones, plus the school age, plus this racial issue that's going on. I guess she's feeling the effects of that.
Yeah, because there's always effects of the racial issue.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know what happens when she goes out, but like, I just think we need to value stay-at-home parents. I know it used to be back in the day when only the middle class and the wealthy
had
were
stay-at-home
able to stay at home.
parents.
Yeah, had stay-at-home parents. And women, we wanted women liberation and rights
Exactly.
and stuff. You know, and I wish I could stay home. They ain't trying to stay home now with the kids. So they be like, look, I'm going to find me a job. Yeah.
Shouts out to the stay-at-home dads too.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh yeah,
to
that's
the
a new thing that
Yeah.
some people don't understand. There is stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
They be stressed out too sometimes.
Yeah, but kids, you know, I hope they do well, and they need to make games online.
They need
because
to
they
be
know
good to their parents because
Absolutely.
they don't understand
Trama
how
in her
hard
bag.
they be stressing us.
But you know what my kids always used to say? We didn't ask to be born. Hands down.
I mean, we didn't.
So I think we can wrap that up right there. We didn't ask to be born,
We
right?
like,
No,
fam, why
they
I gotta
didn't.
follow
Yeah.
these rules and stuff? You put me here.
Yeah.
I am the
I
choice.
know.
But do good, y'all babies. Be online, and they should have games. You know, it's hard, but you're doing a really good job. I think you probably know that, but I'm going to tell you that all the time. You're an amazing mom.
Thank you.
And
I just got one question for the kids. Elementary school. What does recess look like?
Going to the refrigerator.
Going to
Going
the
to the
fridge?
refrigerator.
Yeah.
That's
Doing a few
all they
laps
do.
around the living room and sitting back down at the
Yeah.
kitchen. That's crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
but we're not going to be in this mess forever.
I hope
Unless the
not.
world comes to an end. And then we'll just slide on out into the next dimension, right?
Nah, I'm
Jesus
not ready yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to chill, man. That got
Not ready
dark.
yet.
Did we talk about Brianna?
No,
No,
I'm
we
trying
didn't.
to tell you.
Yeah, like my head is like, it's been a long day. But, I'm just, y'all already know Breonna Taylor.
Yes.
Like, they didn't indict those people, but they had the audacity to give the family like $10 million, right? It was 10.
Yeah.
And then you come around a week later and then you call a state of emergency in Kentucky because you know what time it is. Like, I don't know. Y'all can have that. Y'all can, like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm
It's
just,
devastating.
I'm
It's
frazzled.
devastating. And then not only did they did it on the same day that Emmett Till's Yes, they did it on the same day that Emmett Till's accusers were acquitted.
yep.
Oh.
They did it on the same
Same
exact
time.
day.
Oh, my
God.
And that's probably why they did this state of emergency, because you went from Emmett Till and his situation to
Wow.
Same
Breonna
exact- that's
Taylor, no justice, like you bringing it back like that. It's just not, it's devastating. It's mind boggling.
And in my mind, it's intentional. I feel like, and we was talking
It was
earlier,
definitely
Mary.
intentional. That was
Yeah.
intentional
I feel
because
like it's overt and covert at the
Yeah.
same time. It's
Yeah.
like saying, look, you black people, we're going to give you this money because it's the taxpayers' money anyway. We're going to give you the money over here, but you ain't getting no indictment because we're going to hold to the code. So it's like overt and covert, like you still playing, you're saying we have mental illness. Everybody you study playing games.
well, how you
know?
have mental illness if you're laying in the bed sleep?
No, I'm just
Like
saying.
it just they just make things up just because they can't compare to us. We're better than them in real life, and I feel like they're scared of us at the same time.
And that may be true. That may be true, Trama. I'm thinking along in the vein of mental health issues, everybody, just with COVID going on, right? Just with the pandemic and all of this stuff going on. And people are struggling. They're engaging in crazy behaviors and drugs and alcohol and all this racial and human tension going on. And then just that alone, like, that's just a lot. That's just a lot. And then you want to indict them for you know what? I can't talk about this right now. Look, this is too much. Can we pick up on this on the next time?
Yeah, because there's
This is
more.
a lot.
There's more.
This is a lot.
There's
There's more
more
coming out.
to
This
what
is a
we
lot.
like.
But shouts out to America for,
Shout out
being-
to America for
for being
what?
America.
Shouts out to
Not in a
you.
good way. Not in a good way.
Oh, so why are you shouting them out?
Shouts
you
out
know-
to America for being America, I guess.
Our belief will always overpower what we see, and we just gotta believe, right? And I'm not gonna say, and I want my 40 acres and a mule.
That's
I'll
a
take
fact.
it. I don't care. Give me
it to
my
me.
stuff.
Word.
I want reparations.
Facts.
Just give my people the credit that
yeah.
they deserve for building this country. That's all.
All
I
right,
want.
we gotta go, guys. We're gonna pick up on that the next time. It was nice. See, we didn't really get to because we had to catch up from stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
but
true.
it
Yo,
was
shouts out
interesting.
Tory Meg again.
Shout out to Tory and Meg.
Hey, hold on.
Shout out to you, Nicole. Hang in there, baby. I appreciate you for being a stay-at-home mom.
Stay-at-home moms.
Don't be coming at my guy Chance the Rapper, man. He's
all
a
right.
cool guy.
Anybody? You guys got anything you want to say, Mary Ty?
Vote, and vote again.
Vote.
Did you hear?
All right,
did you hear Ty, Mom?
What?
He put the deep voice. You said, anybody else got anything they want to say? Ty said, nah. I said,
All right,
damn.
y'all. It's been going because our battery's dying. We gotta wrap it up ASAP.
Bye.
Too sad. We love you. Hey, do you, baby?
Okay.
Because you're perfectly incomplete, baby. You know I had to say. All right, y'all. Out of here. Check us out. Be good. Bye.
Yeah. Jesus.